Welcome to the Drumwell Podcast, where we look at what drummers do away from the kit in order to do their best behind the kit. Today I have a fantastic guest backstage here at Knotfest, Brisbane, my hometown. He's a legend. I love this man. I have toured with him. I've played many shows with him now through a couple of bands, namely current drummer of Lamb of God, previously of Prong and Winds of Plague, among others, Mr. Art Cruz.
That was one hell of an intro, my friend.
You like that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm happy to be here backstage while I'm brushing my hair after I got off stage. So
yeah, you slayed it today.
Thank you.
I watched you. I actually had a really good vantage point of your set in Melbourne, and I filmed a bit of that for my daily tour diary that I do.
Okay,
so
awesome.
that's on the internet.
Can't wait to see that. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, a little snippet. I filmed a lot more than I put on there, but yeah, look, I really appreciate you giving me a bit of your time today to talk about our bodies.
Yeah.
As drummers.
You briefly mentioned it as we were walking by, which is why I sat down, because I'm like, yo, this is actually something I want to talk about. So I'm glad I'm sitting down for a second, because as of right now, I'm already trying to stay more focused on my body. So I'm interested to actually hear what you are discussing, because nobody is discussing this.
Yeah, well, like I mentioned to you when we were doing a few shows last year, I've done this whole rehab thing on my back. Like, I had a degenerated disc. I still got it, but and there was like this whole thing. I thought I was going to have surgery. It was hurting after drumming. It was, I'd go into back spasms after a gig.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, what do I do? I can either fix it or stop doing all the things I love doing. And so fix it was the option.
Good.
And I actually saw a neurosurgeon who I'm thinking, he's going to want to operate or put some of that cortisone shots in or something. And no, he's straight up, got this program that we've developed with physios and exercise physiologists as a functional movement program. So I did that. It was like a 8-week, 16-day rehab course.
Wow.
And then I did more lessons with like an exercise physiologist, and then stuck with it. And I have to do it every day, but it helps. My back is better than ever.
Dude, I mean, my weaknesses are obviously my back. I mean, we're drummers, so like our posture is shot, and then the way that I play, all I have been doing is more damage.
Right.
Unknowingly. And this is actually fun to talk about this now, because I have yet to start my plan.
Yeah.
But this is great to actually get some information at the same time as talking to you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's
functional
huge.
movements.
I mean, I have to learn about all that stuff. It takes a lot of pain. It's a job, dude.
Yeah.
And that's why people don't do it. And that's why drummers don't do it.
Yeah.
We're lazy bastards sometimes. If we sit on our ass. But that's what's hurting us.
Exactly.
Is sitting.
And it's, that center of gravity. So, I mean, all the stuff I've done has really strengthened my, lower back.
Okay.
All my core, all in my stomach. I changed my drum setup slightly so I don't have to twist as much, because mine was the L5 S1, so that's like right at the bottom. That's where the pain was. So I don't twist as much on my setup now, and I do all these different exercises as warm-ups.
Okay.
What sort of stuff do you do away from the kit?
So probably, I guess this only happened maybe within this year, or 2023. When I started to actually experience a lot of discomfort. Right. And then we were writing, it started in 22 or something like that, when we were writing our Omens album. Mm-hmm. And it started in the studio, and I was having issues with, I guess at the moment was sciatica. Right. And that just shoots down your entire hamstrings and all that in between. And it wasn't until I actually went to go see a chiropractor and a massage therapist to kind of they were telling me you got some muscles in places that you should probably not have muscles in. Really? Because I've been compensating for so many years sitting down playing a certain way because I was uncomfortable. Yeah. So with that being said, that was the first time I dabbled with paying attention to it, and it wasn't until 2023 that I was like, you know what, I think I got to start doing something. So I started with yoga, and it's something with me as a drummer. A lot of drummers, maybe you do. Do you warm up before you play?
I do, yeah.
Okay, see, that's something, and everybody's different. Yep. Mentally, I cannot pick up sticks or play a pad or rehearse before a show because if I'm not I'm having a really off day,
Yeah.
I'm going to take that energy
On
the damn stage, dude.
Yeah,
I got goosebumps saying that because I've done that, and it sucks. Because as drummers, as musicians, you go down a cycle on stage, and it's like something's weird. I'm not having a good show. Oh, this left foot's not working. My back's kind of not feeling so hot. And then you're just thinking about that. Little do you know, you just missed a bridge, and you're just like, where am I? And it's a terrible cycle to be in. So I don't warm up. So circling back to what I do, a lot of stretching now. I have an awful amount of hamstring, lower back, groin tightness.
Right.
And I still do. And this is still something that as of recently I'm trying to really start seeing sports therapists.
Because
Exercise
physiologists.
Because I feel like aside from like exercising and working those areas out and strengthening them, I need to mobilize them. And I need to learn how to recover properly. Like right now, I should probably be icing my elbows because I have discomfort in my elbows. I should probably be icing my knees and stuff like that and stretching. But it's like through the chaos of the way that you and I both travel and although it only has to take 5 or 10 minutes at times, we still I personally don't find the time. And it sucks, and I pay for it in the end. So what I've just been trying to really stretch as much as I can and researching, but I found that the most in-depth information that I've been getting from a specific type of therapist are sports therapists. Because they specialize in keeping you active. Like you got to,
it's an active instrument.
That's it.
Especially in metal.
It's like it's one thing to heal, but we can't really heal if we're going. So it's very athletic as a drummer. All limbs. All limbs. And then if whoever's listening, if you haven't seen me play, I'm very active.
Active.
Body movements. I'm prone to injure myself.
Sticks.
Everything. Twirling sticks, whipping my head in circular motions, whipping my body while laying into the snare. Like my technique is shot. But I am performing. I'm almost like a wrestler. So I need recovery, and I need proper preparation. So that's something I'm really trying to get into. So
I think definitely look into functional movement training. There's a heap of stuff on YouTube.
Is that something? Because I was actually watching this guy. I actually just recently got in touch with this guy. I already forgot his handle. I feel bad, but he does these techniques where I think it might be the same thing where you're not doing these motions of where you're stretching and just back and forth, or like stretching the fingers out and like pulling on it. But what he's doing is he's taking sticks and he's almost like contracting and forcing a sticks down as if he's gonna play. And like pushing down and activating muscles.
Wow.
And then releasing. And it's just like a weird approach.
Okay.
So but he's doing that with everything. Even with your legs or your shins.
I actually do something for my knees where you where you sit on a chair kind of thing. It's like 90 degrees to the wall, and you push your toe into the wall and you flex your patella muscle, which is the one behind your kneecap.
Weird.
But because I got crackly knees, you know, getting old, and it actually runs blood through your patellas, and it actually cuts down the crackling a bit.
Okay.
You sort of, I can't do it without shoes on because I've got very delicate feet, but I do it with shoes on and just like 5 to 10 reps of that, and it really, really helps.
I need to do. These are things that you touched on this when we played those shows in America with Pantera, and we had briefly touched on you went through like a bunch of rehabilitation and things like that, and just overall life haul, myself included, with not drinking anymore and all that good stuff. It's just, this is the next step. And it's something that I want to not only master and practice, it's just like practicing anything, you know what I mean? Getting better, like yoga is a practice. You're never going to be good at yoga.
No.
You're always getting quote unquote better, but you're never going to be perfect because it's always
nothing's ever perfect.
That's it. That's it. And it's one of those things, man. It's just when you told me that before, I was like, oh man, I've been trying to work on my stretching too and all this shit, but taking actually the time and to research it and do all this stuff, it's going to be a pain in the ass.
Well, that's the thing. That's where you do call in on those professionals.
Yeah.
You know, a few other people that I've had a chat to on this podcast have actually said the same thing. Just get a professional.
And
get someone that knows the body, that can really help, tailor it for you as well.
If you're even listening to this and thinking like, oh yeah, maybe, like, nah, dude, like I actually have to spend the money. Like I have to, because just even recently when we were in Melbourne, myotherapy, that the massage therapist
at the gig,
oh man, I'm spacing all these names. I'm not good with it, but his name is Brad, and
that's the one. I got a massage from him too. Yeah,
sports therapist.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where I talked to him and I was like, yo, I'm nervous because I have to play the next few days and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Not being coherent to the fact that, oh, he's actually a pro and he's been doing this for 20-something years and working with athletes. So I had told him an experience that I had on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Of course, a cruise ship is not going to have therapists that know what it's feel-good therapy.
Yeah, it's someone that gives you the little
they're great
rub
at that.
Yeah,
but if they ask you, like, pressure, you want it hard, I'm like, yeah, because that's going to make me feel better, right?
Yeah.
She fucked me up.
Right.
I was so sore, I couldn't even move because they're not doing it the right way.
Yeah,
they're doing a feel-good, high-pressure massage. So I had him work me out. I told him, hey, I'm nervous, I got to play. He's like, trust me, I've been doing this. And he was getting in there, bro.
Yeah.
Painful massage. And I'm like, yo, in my head, not trusting the process.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is going to suck the rest of the week.
Yeah.
I woke up the next morning, I kid you not, I was like, yo, how am I in not only no discomfort, I thought I was going to be so sore from the way he was just getting in there. And that goes to show you what, I didn't spend the money, but I that's what money well spent will do and give you and bring you. So I need somebody like that. And it's going to cost me, and I can't wait to spend that money on.
Well, it's an investment in yourself. Like, you need your body to do your job.
Would you say it's actually a no-brainer? You like my hamstrings being as tight as they are, right?
Yeah.
Flexibility, mobility. If I improve that, I think my overall life is going to be much easier and better and like even just going down to pick up, if I drop a paper and I gotta bend over and pick it up, dude, like we're getting older for one, for two, my body's been beat up for the last 17 years, like sleeping on van floors and wherever the hell we could, and drugs and alcohol, like poisoning my body for the last however many years. So it took me so long to get to this point. But I'm glad I'm focusing on it now.
Oh, totally.
And being able to talk to you about it, because nobody's talking about it.
But I think it also comes for you, especially with climbing the ladder. Like Windsor Plague was probably your first. Like,
that was my first big international
band,
act,
and then obviously Prong was another sort of step up with as far as like opportunities. And then Lamb of God's huge. Like,
it's been interesting.
And then each step you're going, oh well, now I'm up here. I got to maintain. I got to get better. And then next step again, maintain, get better. You're getting older, you're getting wiser, but the body's wearing out.
It's shutting down.
You got to think about that. And like you say, like quitting the booze, I don't drink much anymore. I haven't been drunk since 2016.
Good for you.
I'll have a beer here and there, but
you're normal. Some of us aren't.
It just for me, alcohol's an like inflammation causing thing, and I just try to keep as little inflammation in my body as possible.
Which leads me and potentially you into my diet.
Exactly. Yes, 100%.
Mobility and all this is one thing, and working out, it's great. Yeah, it's great. But if you're feeding yourself all this crap that's processed and I try and stick with whole foods as much as I can. I live in Virginia now. To go from LA to Virginia, farm life,
of course,
drastic difference. People care about it. I just now, when I get home from this tour in a couple days, I'm finishing. It's springtime out there in America coming up, so I'm putting together garden beds now. These are things that me and my girl are doing to improve intake, and inflammation is number one.
Of course,
Sugar. Processed sugar. Cutting that out. I have cut that out.
I did just drink a can of Coke, but
there's a time.
It's very rare.
There's a time, you know what I mean? And it's just like, and like I'm no